Welcome to the channel. My name's Simon Greenwood. I've been riding motorcycles for just over 40 years and I'm a national observer with the IAM. The aim of the channel is to help you get a little bit more out of your motorcycling, learn to control your bike, make the ride more fun. This channel's aimed at everybody, whether it's somebody new starting off or whether you've been riding for years. We're all learning every minute of every day, and every time we ride we pick up something new usually. Today I'd like to talk you through cornering. I'm going to use a stretch of road that's quite local to me, and the locals affectionately call it Seven Bends. It's exactly what it says on the tin. It's 7 bends in very short succession to each other. This therefore is absolutely ideal to practice road position and counter steering. Now, counter steering is something I'll cover in another video, and if you're not familiar with it, I wouldn't suggest that you try to run to extremes of position as I do, so position 1, position 3. When you look at the stretch of road ahead of you, you can see the white line down the centre of the road. That's what we would call position 3. In the middle of our carriageway we would call position 2, and the solid white line on the left we would call position 1. I've taken the video and slowed it down, and I'm going to talk you through the positioning and the reason why. This particular stretch has trees growing down both sides of the road, which means that things can be hidden from view depending on the severity of the bend. It's really important when riding that we wait until we can see all of the tarmacs clear before we decide to change position. On country roads like this you could come across a horse, and if the horse gets spooked, that's not going to end well for either the rider of the horse or the rider of the bike. So for safety's sake, that's why we wait till we can see the whole of the tarmac before we change position on the bike. So as we approach the right hand bend, we're moving over to position 1. This allows us to get a better view through that bend, and as we can see now, the tarmac's clear, there's nothing hidden by the bushes. So we're going to counter steer back to position 3, which is the best position for the line through to be able to get the view through the left hand bend. Vice versa, we're now moving back to position 1 to get the view through the next right hand bend, and again I can see all of the tarmac, so now I'm counter steering back to position 3, ready for the next left. As I tip into the next left, I wait until I can see there's nothing hidden. Now I can move over to position 1. And now we're going back to position 3 for the view through the left hand bend. Back to position 1. Added benefit here is it takes us way out of the way of the vehicle coming towards us. And we hold position 1 and keep holding until we can see all of that tarmac's clear. And then we can move back to position 3 ready for the left hand bend. We're holding position 3 again until I can see all of the tarmac, and then back to position 1. Position 1 on a bend like this has 2 benefits. Number 1, it gives us a view. Number 2, it keeps our head well out of the way of anything that's coming towards us when we're leaning the bike over. And we can see the road bends round to the right, and again it's hidden. So I'm going to hold a position to the left until I can see that it's safe to move right, ready for the left hander that van's just come round. So we let the van past, and we counter steer back to position 3, which gives us a best view through the left hand bend. And we've got a nice long straight now to ride it. So we're going to turn around here and ride the route in reverse. We know the road bends round to the right, and we can see the S-bend signs at either side of the road here. As we get past the field entrance on the left, we're moving into position 1, ready to take the right hand bend. Ready to counter steer back to position 3, but I just saw, which is hard to see on the video, a vehicle coming round that other bend. So I'm going to hold a position nearer to position 2. And I was right, there is a vehicle, so holding that position kept me out of conflict. And now I can move back to position 3. Ready for the left hand bend. So we've got a motorcycle approaching now, so I'm just going to counter steer slightly out of his way and then drift back wide to position 3 again. And as soon as I can see all of the tarmac, then I'm going to counter steer to position 1, ready for the right hand bend. And we hold this till we can see all of the tarmac. So we'll let that car go past and then move back out again to get the view through the next bend. Back into P1 and hold it till I can see all of the tarmac, and now I can counter steer to position 3. Again, as soon as I can see all of the tarmac, counter steer again back to P1. And now we can counter steer back to position 3 as the cyclist goes past. Back to P1, which takes me out of the way of the oncoming vehicle. And hold that until I can see the tarmac, and back to position 3. Now we can see position for the oncoming vehicle. Here we can see a typical Somerset National speed limit road. As you can see in the distance, the road bends round to the right. So I'm going to take position 1 nice and early, get my speed right, my gear right, so that I can keep a positive throttle through the bend. I'm holding that position, and now I can see that the tarmac's clear, so I can put the bike where I want. And as the road bends round to the left, I'm now going to position 3 and holding position 3 through that bend. I can see in the distance now is a 30 mph limit. As I've said before, usually there's no benefit to holding position, so I'll move to position 2. And for the keen-eyed among you, it wasn't me that was going too quick, it was the vehicle behind. So now we hold that central position all the way through this stretch. As I've said before, there's little benefit usually to moving left or right in a 30 mph. Given the speed you're travelling at, people can see you nice and early, and you can usually see them nice and early. The road surface isn't great through this stretch, so I'm not just going to hold position 2 constantly. As you can see down the middle, they've been digging up the road, and there's a nice trench marker down the centre. There's also stretches where the tarmac's actually worn away in the centre, so you do need to move for stability. So now we go back to National, we can accelerate back up. Move out to 3 for view, oncoming vehicles, so we have to concede. Again, you can see the road's really rutted where you'd probably normally position your bike. So you have to decide whether you're going to go slightly left or slightly right of that. And again, back down to 30. On this stretch there is a benefit to moving out. On the right you'll see there's a mirror which indicates a hidden entrance on the left hand side, so it's easier to move out just in case something is emerging, then you don't come into conflict with it. And now moving back to position 2 for the oncoming vehicles. Because of the oncoming vehicles and the vehicle emerging from the right, I can't get a position 3 through this bend, so I'm going to have to hold position 2. So we hold position 2 through the bend, and we keep that position until we can see all of the tarmac. Once we can see that, we can then move over to position 1, which has a dual benefit here. It means that vehicles coming around the bend can see us early, and it keeps our head out of the way of anything coming around that bend as well. Now we're entering national speed limit, but I've got oncoming vehicles, so I'm restricted how much I can move the bike. And now we're coming up to a left hand bend, so as soon as I can I want to move the bike over to P3 for view. And because it's kind of quite blind bend, we're going to keep just inside of position 3. Keep the speed down until we can see a long enough straight to accelerate, which is here. So now we can bring the speed back up. Moved over to 2 to allow the oncoming vehicles to go past, and then back out to position 3 for a left hand bend. Now this is when you start to see the benefit of moving around, and you can see a lot further through that bend by moving over to position 3. And in a second we're going to move over to position 1, ready for the right hander. And exactly the same. Affords you the visibility a lot further through that bend, being able to see things oncoming a lot sooner. Because there's another right hand bend in short succession, we're just going to hold position 1 and then round the next right hander. Now we can see all the tarmac's empty, we can move back to position 3. It's a nice straight road, and that's where we're going to stay for quite some time. Hope you enjoyed the video. So if you did like the video, if you got benefit out of it, feel free to give me a thumbs up and hit like and subscribe. I'm new to this, so it's all work in progress, and hopefully we'll get better as things go on. Stay safe, ride safe.